Alright. View channel. Make sure that I'm here. Yep, I'm here. Groovy. And there's me over there. I'm gonna slap that on the charger because I got to. Check in on that from time to time. Hello everybody and welcome back to Tilted Tilter Gaming. And welcome back to Conrad Stevenson's Paranormal PI, the video game. The fun video game where I investigate the paranormal and get yelled at by people from the other side. It's a good time for everybody. Well, except for when they make me jump. Then it's a really good time. But either way, if you're new here, welcome aboard. If you're a subscriber, glad to have you with me on this journey. But without further ado, let's do this. Let's see here. Oh, I thought I saw bathrobes for a second there. It's like, am I selling bathrobes now? It's a little strange. Close the door. You may or may not hear one of my roommates in the background. Not much I can do about that. I think subconsciously he just wants to be heard. But anyways. Inbox. Dolores Slocum. Wait. I didn't realize I'd unlocked the Bar Harbor Lighthouse. That must have been my last thing last night. But either way, today I'm going with Tammy Wentz. Because today is about our friend the soldier. My friend the soldier. On Evergreen Lane. Let's see what I can dig up here. Now, the story of all these ghosts is tragic, but specifically, it's all Carter. I'll get to that one soon enough. There we go. There's the final bit of information I was looking for. We'll get to that one as well at some point because there's an interesting story behind that guy. Again, all of them really have that, but also there's one ghost at least missing from here. But yeah. I'll get to that.
It seems like the Wentz family isn't worried about their safety, although it does seem like they're pretty startled when experiencing something they think is paranormal. I'm sure I'll be able to find enough evidence to support their claims and put their minds at ease.
Me too. I'm pretty sure too. So, I believe I've gotten some responses, if I remember right, out of this guy. So, an intelligent haunting. Be intelligent of me to turn on my flashlight. Now, if you have any trouble with strobing effects, you may want to be cautious with this part because this light up here and this light in this hallway right here, I think have a really concernable strobing effect. I mean, I'm hoping that eventually maybe the developer or developers of this game see this and maybe do something about that. Because, you know, it's either that or, you know, epilepsy warning, you know, you don't want to risk that. It's not exactly something you want to mess with. But, not chuckling over that. Chuckling because I could have sworn I've heard this guy. Could have sworn I've heard this guy a couple times. And it seems like he's just waiting for me to talk, and that's what I'm chuckling about.
I'll keep that as audio evidence.
Figure I get some baseline audio out of him. Maybe a photo if he wants to show his face early. I mean, he does do that sometimes. Sorry if I'm doing this a bit. It's a little dry here, so my beard's a little dry, a little bit, you know, distracting. A little distracting.
Wow, that's great audio evidence.
Soldier here is the man of the hour. And from what I've gathered so far, guy canceled himself off, I think with this beam or that beam over there. But, ended up hanging himself from one of these two. Presumably over the trauma he experienced in wartime. Dude! I can't say he's toying with me because he does not sound like he's having fun, but I could have had your photo. There'll be other chances, I'm sure. Note to self, the next upgrade I get has to be the auto cam. At some point here, next upgrade in this side of the screen I go for has got to be getting back to having a tower. And a good monitor. I mean, by that, TV screen that doubles as a monitor, because those seem like they work a lot better. I must have been seeing things. Could have sworn I'd seen an arm over there. Had to have, though, because it doesn't look the same. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely must have seen an... No, maybe not. This is weird. It feels like he's toying with me, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure he's not toying with me. I mean, how could you be that depressed and find that sort of thing? I mean, maybe different strokes for different passed on folks, well, sort of passed on. I don't know. I do know that I'm going to get his photo, hopefully. Either it's going to be his photo or it's going to be somebody's photo, but I'm getting a picture somehow. Unless, of course, this is the first one I don't 100%, but it's not a matter of perfectionism on that one so much as it is I'm just trying to get to the good toys.
Is there anything you would like to tell me?
It feels like it's doing that twitching thing like you get when your eye is strained.
Do you like the current family living here? Do you like the current family living here? Is this your home? Is this your home?
Haven't gotten anything new out
Is there
of them
anyone
so
here
far, but
who would like to speak with
stop,
me?
man. I'm pretty sure that's the ones I gotta fill in on that bar.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me?
Nothing. Alright. Wind chimes.
What was that? I'm glad I captured it with a recorder.
Alright. See which key that is. Not that one. I don't want this light on, pal. So activating. Perhaps. I apologize for that light. My friend lights off. Yeah, I don't think that would have been new information anyways. Alright, since you really love to hang out here at this light, maybe you'd like to answer some questions for me here at this light.
Is this your home? Is this your home?
Just 1 second. Off!
Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me?
Not sure why he's doing that.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me?
Like I said, he doesn't really strike me as particularly playful for the mood he's in.
Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Do you know why I'm here? Do you know why I'm here?
Who does number 2 work for?
How many people are here other than me? How many people are here other than me? Is this your home? Is this your home? Do you like the current family living here? Do you like the current family living here? Why are you here? Why are you here?
I get it. He will tell me nothing. On the outside, he may look ectoplasmic. But on the inside, he's granite! I got you. I got you. Are you walking there, or are you walking here? Where's the walking? Where's the walking? 5.
Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
He ain't saying nothing, boss. He ain't speaking. Huh, New Vegas installed on here. You know, off would be nice. So when I hear that, I get that. All the way over to that just to turn it off. I have definitely dealt with more polite ghosts, you know. But you're not thinking soundly. I get it.
These temp readings are unusual.
No. I was almost there with it. And then my brilliant deductive mind ended up hitting the wrong button. Because I'm just so clever. So clever. Oh, spacebar. There you go. So if you were watching a previous video of mine, I did mention there's a way to swap that over to Celsius over there. And there you go. There's Celsius, Fahrenheit, Celsius. It's all just spacebar. Where's it at?
Something is going on here. These temperature readings are definitely paranormal.
Alright. So that's one.
These lights are acting funny. I should continue investigating. The EMF meter should not behave this way. This is paranormal.
Alright. Can I get your photograph now, please? I would very much love to have your photograph. That would be nice. If I remember right, footsteps means I might be able to get him to talk too. So I just gotta... Yeah, that's an illusion. That's just a shadow. I'd know if it was him, he'd be moving more intelligently. I'm just standing over there behind a car seat. It's gotta be just a shadow. Now, I do have his photo. And I have...
Photo of a ghost.
I have questions.
Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
It was worth a try.
Can you tell me your name?
Maybe I didn't get the name and I thought I got the name.
Can you tell me your name? How many people are here other than
I'm
me?
gonna check that at the computer back in the office.
How many people are here other than me? Do you know why I'm here? Do you know why I'm here?
So, mechanic that I did before in this game. Since I have the time to talk about it. Yeah, let me go somewhere safer for the viewer. So, mechanic I forgot to go over in this game. The bar you see when it comes to me taking a photo of a ghost or me recording audio for a ghost, once both of those bars are filled up, somewhere in this map, an artifact pertaining to that ghost will appear. And I'll have to find that artifact. And it's part of helping the ghost either move on, or in the case of a demon, helping them, not helping those losers. We're exercising the piss out of them. We're getting rid of them. Or I am, at least. But first I'm getting the piss scared out of me by him, which comes later. But, that said, back to this. Already got temps, already got EMF. I've already got a photograph. I just need more information from him.
Why are you here? Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Can't help you until I get all the information on you. Here comes the brakes, buddy.
What was that? I'm glad I captured it with a
Sad
recorder.
that makes you sad. But I need you to work with me here if you want my help.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Why are you here? Why are you here? Do you know why I'm here?
I've gotten an intelligent response out of you before. What's stopping you now?
Do you know why I'm here?
It almost seems like he's lost on why I'm even here. Let me just deactivate that for the 599,000th time.
That was a very unusual noise. I'll keep that as evidence. Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Wow, that sounded like a response.
I
That is
appreciate
very
the
interesting.
honesty.
Do you know why I'm here? Do you know why I'm here?
I'm a little closer to helping you now.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Paranormal. Profound amount of audio evidence that cannot be explained in EVP. Clearly sounds like an intelligence.
That's extraordinary audio evidence. How many people are here other than me? How many people are here other than me? Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Fascinating.
Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Well, it is what it is.
Why are you here? Why are you here? Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me?
There's got to be some other bit of information I can get out of him before I head on to the next place.
Is there anyone here who would like to speak with me? How many people are here other than me? How many people are here other than me?
Is there anybody out there? One of these days I just gotta do this in my pajamas. Might be more comfortable.
How many people are here
has gotten herself in quite a mess recently. It's gotten to the point where social services have been out at her home and questioning her ability to earn her own children. It may seem ridiculous, but she believes she may be possessed by some terrible spirit. She did not always behave the way she does now. In fact, she distinctly recalls her behavior changing rather abruptly about though. They have lived in their house for about 3 years. Within the first 6 months of living there, from time to time she would see shadows passing in her peripheral vision. She would work so much and would be so exhausted most of the time, so at the time she figured it was just being tired. However, 6 months after her initial sighting, she started to hear a woman's disembodied voice from behind the walls. At first, it seemed like maybe her neighbors had their TV up too loud, but after the last visit from social services, Cece started talking in tongues. Yikes, definitely possession. You know, it might not be evil Bambi, but you might see something get crazy if I go there. As I started to reflect on everything, there I go, I get a little bit twisty-uppy, my bad. As she started to reflect on everything going on, she started to believe that there is something paranormal going on. Yeah, for the last part, I'd have to agree. Over the last weeks, she has been trying to be more observant, knowing she was going to contact me. It seems like the shadows appear around the bedrooms of the house. She has heard a woman's voice in almost every room of the main floor, but not as regularly as she sees the shadows. Additionally, in her opinion, she believes there are unusual changes in temperature throughout the house. That'll happen. From what she has read online about these occurrences, she's convinced that there is some kind of spirit in her home. Let me close notes so I can read that part. She is so looking forward to my response. She just wants things to be normal again. Signed, Dolores Slocum. Poor dear. I couldn't even imagine. So, what's Miss Anna Worthington have to say? Mr. Stevenson, she would like to extend an offer to me to come and investigate the Bar Harbor Lighthouse Maritime Museum. That's one of my favorite maps. I remember this one. So sure. She is so sure I am very familiar with the numerous claims about the lighthouse and surrounding grounds being haunted. Oh, there were tongues she was speaking in. Should not be so comedic about that. Can't help myself. Alright. Let me go over everything here. Flashlights don't seem like they need worried about on that. Batteries, I mean. Turn that off then. Alright, I seem to have a full charge on everything. And this is... what's the new place called again? Remind me. You are Jefferson Street. Alright. So, as I was saying as well in a prior video, thinking about getting into some Phasmo here soon. Phasmophobia would be pretty fun to play. Not gonna lie. Man, I'll probably do more running than trying to figure out what the ghost is, but it'll be fun.
I feel terrible about Dolores' situation. Possession is such a controversial topic, and quality help is often difficult to find. I guess the best thing I can do to help is determine if anything paranormal is going on in their home. If it is, then I should obtain as much evidence as possible. I'm sure I'll be able to find enough evidence to support their claims and put their minds at ease.
I hope so too. Can't imagine juggling all that and then dealing with that, you know. I mean, in a real life scenario, at least, I could not imagine just the kind of trauma you'd be holding on to with that. Speaking of trauma, why did she have to play with demons? Why did the kid have to play with demons? Well, you thought I was going to trauma dump, didn't you? No, plenty of time for me to whine later. Just kidding. Are they awake early? Hi.
Incredible. I captured a ghost on film.
Hello. How are you? At least it wasn't a demon. Alright. So I got a ghost photo. There's that. Getting some evidence here. Definitely some anger issues when you're scribbling out your family members' faces. There's definitely some anger. You know. Yoga instructor impersonation time. I'm sensing some tension off of you. Yeah, I'm distinctly sensing tension. Let me just open this door so if I need to run like a little wimp, I can. And I will most likely be running like a little wimp. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. This guy makes me freaking leery. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I try to not look at this punk because he makes me run out of breath. I have to go deep in the belly of this thing, don't I? Oh, goody. You know exactly what I don't want to hear. Give me that, please. Close that, please. I wish to go now. I want to go before he wakes up. I want to go before he wakes up. I got what I came for on that guy. Thank you. So long, and thanks for all the fish. I did bring my paramic, right? I'm gonna get some audio before I get anything else. This place is buzzing with talk. It's one of the few times I permit myself to leave the lights on. That guy is creepy. That guy is some uber creepiness. If you don't meet him now, you'll meet him later, trust me.
Wow, that's great audio evidence. Wow, that's great audio evidence.
He's not asleep. I know that silhouette. He is
What was
not
that?
asleep.
I'm glad I captured it with a recorder.
This could get interesting. This could get freaky.
That's extraordinary audio evidence.
What is that, Latin? Ancient Latin?
Ooh, that is eerie audio evidence. I'll keep that as audio evidence.
Now, I told you this thing is powerful. When I said this thing is powerful, this thing is powerful. It seemed like maybe that first go around.
That's extraordinary audio evidence.
No, I preferred the cross upright. So, this place is making me nervous, but at least all I got is temps and EMFs to go. So there's that, right? Nervous laugh. Stopped right here. There it is. Oh. Okay. So that's just a mirror. He's waiting for me to get comfortable. The sucky thing is, the really sucky thing is, I cannot get rid of him until I help them. Which means this is going to be an uncomfortable job. But I'm all for it. I mean, yeah, this is going to be nervous, but if I go for him, I'm going to be going directly at him. Watch him come flying out of that door at me. The last thing I need is for him to jump on my face and gnaw on my bones. He will not jump on my face or gnaw on my bones. I still do not like the idea. He'll still charge at me and freak me right the hell out in the next Tuesday. Yeah, it didn't sound quite right anyways, but I had to make sure. So what about out here? Oh, there's a ghost likes to patrol around out here. Debunk these things, I guess, yes.
While this is a high EMF level, it seems to be normal, although they may want to call an electrician to ensure everything is wired correctly.
I know, right? And there's also this one over here could throw a person off if they're investigating. That doesn't mean there's nothing there. meant to do that. Meant to do that. Not the photo thing, though.
What was that? I'm glad I captured it with a recorder.
So, I guess it'll be my job for right now to make you as uncomfortable as possible. Which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna need some temps and some EMFs before I move on, because I'm trying to build up to the big camera. I want the big boy camera. Get some big boy photos. Do some big boy stuff. Hello. I feel like I was a little calmer about that than prior. No, she wasn't running right at me or something, right? Very active ghost. It would be interesting to see what the camera, well, not camera, but the audio logs say back on Jefferson. I'm on Jefferson's. Back in the office. Back in the office. So, cold spots. But do they move? They do. They definitely do, but stopped moving.
That is eerie audio evidence.
Such a loving mother's energy. Yes, I will definitely remember my jacket. Thank you, ma'am. I very much appreciate the concern.
The EMF meter should not behave this way. This is paranormal.
That's a dog. Neighbor dog.
These temp readings are unusual.
I know that thing is going to come at me at any moment if I'm not careful. So close.
Something is going on here. These temperature readings are definitely paranormal.
Alright. Oh, that was freaky. Natural, okay, so this is paranormal, and paranormal. Gotcha. Time to go see what the audio files say on this. I'm sure there'll be some really heartstring pulling stuff. And some creepy stuff. There's probably going to be some creepy stuff in there too. Yeah, let's go check it out, huh? Now here's a beautiful place because I don't have to walk. It's really good, this game, in the manner that they really pull at you to want to help these ghosts if you're, you know, empathetic at all. If not, and you're just kind of a speedrunner who doesn't think much about it. You're probably a speedrunner who doesn't think much about it, but, you know. So up to 150. 500 to go. Evergreen Lane. Jefferson Street. Kathy Defoe. More volume. Excuse me. More volume, please. Why am I hearing something about research? Hang on. I'm gonna have to lean in for this one. One day I will be able to leave the dojo. And no matter what I do, I can't understand what she's saying. More volume? I wish there was some sort of subtitles for that. I'm just gonna have to not understand that one.
I don't care who started it. I don't care who started it.
That reminds me of back when I was raising cats. They'd bicker and I'd get, I don't care who started it, you two cut it out. I imagine, yeah. It's only a taste of what it's overall like, isn't it? Hope I get to experience it someday, even the rough parts.
Don't forget your jacket.
I knew I heard her say that.
Use your words. Use your words.
Okay, next ghost. I do not know what about snakes. Get out of here. Ooh. Ghost Rider. Berry baths. Oh, with milk and honey and a little... You're trying to trick me. Next. Okay, I know I'm hearing that one wrong. It almost sounds like he's complaining about brushing teeth or something. He's like, why do we have to go and brush our teeth? Because it's good for you. I'm just going to assume I'm not supposed to understand any of that jumble. Definitely would not understand that if you tried. Evergreen Land is back to house 1. Okay, so that's everybody in that house that I've gathered so far. Huh. That's a lot to take in. I definitely don't like him. So, that other ghost. I want to check in on that other ghost. That's that for there. Archives, Evergreen Lane. Yeah. I feel good with that. Apologies for the filler run, but I gotta earn some points here. That camera is a must.
It seems like the Wentz family isn't worried about their safety, although it does seem like they're pretty startled when experiencing something they think is paranormal. I'm sure I'll be able to find enough evidence to support their claims and put their minds at ease.
I just figured I'd save you a moment of the ending there because, yeah, you said that a few times. Walking slow like it's a procession. Alright. Rookie error. Rookie error's just called. They told me to remember my equipment. That's alright. The only way to learn is by occasionally making a couple errors you gotta learn from, right? Give me camera, give me those obvious ones right there. Now, when it comes time to get the upgrades, I'm also probably going to get the ones that I don't really use, just so you can hopefully see what they act like out in the field. So I'm sure, you know, you don't just want to see my favorites. Let's go see if we can't help out a little girl here for a second. Actually, you know what? I know this guy. I know how he behaves. Yeah, I'm right on with that. Unless that's not him. Might not be him.
Nothing paranormal about these temperature readings.
It was not him. Okay. Not him confirmed.
These temp readings are unusual.
Maybe stop running. Why am I running? I don't know. Seem like a calorie burning. I'm pretty sure I already grabbed anything from in here, right? Yeah, okay.
Something is going on here. These temperature readings are definitely paranormal.
5, please. You know, the awesome thing is that these really start to pick up a lot faster than they used to. Back in the day, when I was starting to play this game, it was one of those things where it would slowly pick up, but yeah, sometimes it would take a while.
This photo is not really evidence by itself.
I know.
I should try and collect something additional.
I'm surprised that even counted. Way to go, me, I guess. I guess. But really, yeah, I agree. That was a pretty crappy photo. That was a pretty crappy photo. I could do better. Is it just me when somebody plays a paranormal video game, or does anybody else get the Haunted Mansion tune
That
stuff
was a
in their
very
head?
unusual voice. I'll keep that as evidence.
I think that's my first bit of information on her, was that coughing. Poor kid. This button. Not this button. Where's her route, anyways? Yeah, I still gotta remember how to screenshot. I'm gonna have to write that down. I did look at a video of that earlier. I've been trying to up my skill on here a little bit because, yeah, still pretty much a rookie. Yeah, so hopefully better screenshots coming soon with these, and you won't have to deal with me trying to use stand-in photos or whatever. Like the one you saw here, I had to use that temporarily as a stand-in, and yeah, sometimes it might take me the next day to get something more effective towards what I'm actually recording. It's not that I want to do that, it's that I'm kind of stuck doing that at the time. But, again, better photos coming soon.
Ooh, that is eerie audio evidence.
Yes, but which ghost was that one? Well, if I remember Hurstway right, it was sickness took this little girl, and this one right here, I forget, was it bronchitis, pneumonia, something like that. It wasn't good. I mean, it never is, right? But yeah, it wasn't good.
What was that? I'm glad I captured it with a recorder.
The shadow ghost in the basement is her dad, if I remember right. And Private Connor, I'm not sure how him or the poltergeist in the kitchen are connected. But I do know this little girl and her dad both haunt this building. So there is that. Let's see about getting some temps. I was hoping maybe I could get a profile photo over, get started on that case more effectively. But understandably, I mean, I was shy when I was a kid too, so I get it. I get it.
That's
half her audio.
audio evidence.
That's half of her audio bar filled up.
That's extraordinary audio evidence.
I suspect that TV might pop on at some point. Just like a poltergeist reference waiting to happen. They're here. Who's here, Caroline? The TV people. You know, that kind of a thing. At least it doesn't strobe, right? At least this light doesn't strobe. It's just that first house. I don't know what it is. I mean, realism, there are lights that definitely do that. But, yeah. Well, what's going on here? Yeah, it's not the right thing. Weird buggy wall. It only seems to do that in my playthroughs. I've actually never seen that happen with any others, so maybe it's just an internet thing or something. But I don't recall that being seen in anybody else's playthrough. I could be totally wrong about that, though. It seems like only I get the joy of the invisible wall. Sounded like raspy breathing. Yep.
I'll keep that as audio evidence.
Definitely raspy breathing. Faint footsteps made me think maybe she was going to walk out of a room or something. Also that whispering. I could be absolutely wrong, but I don't recall that whispering. Something's going on there. Something's up. What's weird though is I should have enough information to should be able to get the temps off of this guy or somebody. This grass is really going crazy. Take the long way around. Okay. So my eyes getting a little blurry on me there. lot going on, but none of it's going on near me when it's going on, so there's that. I would have thought I'd have tied this up by now. She's really most common on the stairs. I'll fill the audio log before I end up getting this temperature thing resolved. I didn't know ghosts could sleep, but I feel like these ghosts sort of sleep or something. What in the...
This photo with the Cobra audience?
They're here. TV people? TV people are here? Can I turn that off? Okay. That was odd. I had a feeling that might happen, though. I did say that, right? Did I just turn that TV back on? No way, right? Yeah, no way. Try walking. Remind me of my evidence here. Footsteps upstairs. Ghost of child. Shadows moving around. Disembodied voice. Remodeling. Many families. Many memories. It's not entirely a total bust. But if I could just get that extra little bit of points, that's just... Anything in there? Nope. Yeah, I've definitely not captured any EMF. Definitely don't have the EMF yet. Maybe that changes. This isn't moving though, so maybe not.
While this is a high EMF level, it seems to be normal, although they may want to call an electrician to ensure everything is wired correctly.
Yeah, I thought you were doing that, yeah. This is... It's so strange that the only thing left is the EMF. I mean, usually when you get temps, you can usually... It's a lot of usually. I missed a photo opportunity. But usually when you get temps in this game, you can get the EMFs right with it. Same trail, same window. We're playing hard to get this evening. Saw a shadow walking that way. This isn't going to be the same thing I debunked already, is it? I feel like it might be. It's not moving.
Nothing paranormal about these
Yeah.
EMF readings.
I'm a little baffled by that, buddy. I thought we debunked that one already, you and me. Shift. I always get that mixed up. That way. I haven't investigated Connor yet in this go, but that's because I don't have much evidence on Connor. Otherwise, I'd probably just go see about that one. There's a lot of false positive sounds that you can hear, like that screeching sound that almost sounds like you're doing a drift race.
Wow, that's great audio evidence.
Hey, all I need is her photo and I can help her. Right on. Of course, it's not just a matter of filling the barn, getting her photo. I should really clarify. You're also going to have to know the backstory because it will quiz you on that. Wrong button. It's EMF also, by the way. It's not moving. Probably not anything. Keeps pausing me here for some reason.
Nothing paranormal about these EMF readings.
I think it's because this is the tutorial building, so it's probably just going to be stuck on that. So from here on, I see that I'm probably just not going to hang out in that same spot. I think that one's already rule outable pretty thoroughly. Apologies, I itch in my eye. Weird how that works. Eye itch in my eye. Almost feels like I'm trying to do an I Spy with my little eye thing or whatever there. What I don't spy though yet with my little eye. I'm not spying that angry ghost that loves to yell at me, and I'm really baffled by that. Guy always loves yelling in my face. And it's one of his favorite pastimes. It's not nice, but I mean, he's trying to get help. I get why he's doing it. Panicked, but yeah. Give it a little more time. If I don't see him show up, I'm just gonna book it. Like a Travelocity trip. Nothing. Hoping to 100% this. What in the blue blazes? Probably missed out on an EMF. Trying to figure out what nice sandhill that was. I'm not worried about the breaking glass. I know who that is. Or since broken glass is all you can get out of a poltergeist, I probably should record that too. Not moving, is it?
These EMF readings appear to be normal.
Yeah, I wish you weren't saying that when you said that, when you showed me the bar. You know, maybe Private Connor's going to be a help here. Maybe he can help me hurry things along, move on to the next area, if you will. Private Connor for the win?
These lights are acting funny. I should continue investigating.
Holy cow. Thank you, sir.
The EMF meter should not behave this way. This is paranormal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got him. Alright, paranormal, 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 and paranormal. Thank you. Apologies if I saluted wrong. I know they're very particular. Oh, doors. Doors. Get the doors. Professionalism, right? Gotta get the doors. Excuse me. I'll be back to talk about that faulty TV set you got there. a groomer hiding in it. Ooh, a lot of popping in the fingers, huh? Back to the office. Alright. We'll check in with the slime. Up to 200, and I got 650 to go, so that's 450 to go. Yeah, I used to be bad at numbers, and I'm getting better at it. How about that? They said you can learn anything from video games. That's almost relaxing. Wait a tick. I haven't gone here yet. You're acting like I've already been there. Are you going to make me go to the lighthouse? It's going to make me go to the lighthouse. Okay. I'm going to pick my battles carefully here, though. It appears I'm bleeding. Oh, that'll be fine. Barn. See here, it should be covered in the wiki. Locations, Bar Harbor Lighthouse. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of reading, so bear with me. It's also really, really small print. Bar Harbor Lighthouse, First Keepers. Okay, the picture is not a clue itself, sometimes, as you and I know. Most of you have been here. Sometimes that can be a clue, but not a clue this time. Alright, so, story time. Bar Harbor Lighthouse, First Keepers. After the War of Independence, the city entered a reconstruction period and experienced tremendous growth in the historical district. The docks at Bar Harbor operated around the clock, ensuring distribution of imports throughout the community. In the early 1800s, several ships were severely damaged entering the harbor around dusk. That's like a... Just pretend I said that like dusk, not like it was still going. The city determined having a light station would mitigate further disruptions to dock operations. Construction of the light station was completed in 1821 and consisted of the light tower, keepers' living quarters, and a fuel storage building. So, light tower, keepers' living quarters, fuel storage. Gotcha. Delmore Irving and Douglas Murdoch were the first Bar Harbor lighthouse keepers. Delmore Irving was a retired admiral who had a hardened personality, defined by his experiences at sea during the recent war. Yeah, I imagine that will make you a little bit rougher. You're going to be a little bit more hard-boiled after that. Douglas Murdoch had a long career as a local politician. Oh, I know I'm going to love him right away. In the year prior to his arrival at the light station, his popularity significantly deteriorated. Oh, how about that, even politician? Guess he didn't lie good enough. Rumors surfaced about Mr. Murdoch having an affair with the wife of one of his colleagues, and shortly thereafter, Miss Murdoch suspiciously left town without a trace. Yeah, can you blame her? Law enforcement operated a case about the matter, but no evidence was discovered. The general consensus was that Douglas Murdoch volunteered for the keeper's job to avoid further attention and potential prosecution. I could say a few things, but I won't. The community believed the light station operated for years without incident. As dusk approached on April 14, 1835, the light tower was not operational. This was an immediate and urgent issue for the harbor, and before nightfall the dock superintendent and a police officer were inside the keeper's quarters. It appeared that Admiral Irving passed away in his sleep and Douglas Murdoch was nowhere to be found. The following morning, police officers, detectives, and the medical examiner arrived at the light station to investigate. The coroner's report indicated that the Admiral passed away in his sleep of natural causes. The detectives found that Delmore's diary and a very disturbing story started to unfold. Admiral Irving immediately disliked Douglas Murdoch, and over the years this festered into hatred, as highlighted in Admiral Irving's diary on his first night at the light station on September 12, 1821. It is incredibly evident that Mr. Murdoch has spent his entire life striving for the affection of others by storytelling. Numerous times he appeared to adjust his disposition throughout our conversation for the sake of earning my regard. I have a strong disdain, I don't know why I'm doing this in an Irish, maybe it's ship captain, I'm used to Fallout 76, disdain for a man that lacks integrity. The entries grew in frequency, and thank God I can break character there, and frustration as time passed. The following is another excerpt from his diary. Sorry ahead of time. I have begun to voice my disdain to Douglas about his shifty personality. His commitment to work is dismal. It reminds me of a spoiled child, complaining about nearly every aspect of his duties. I don't recall ever wanting to mangle another man so fervently in my life. Admiral Irving documented that Mr. Murdoch purchased seven slaves in 1832 and had them build their own housing on the west side of the peninsula, which was densely vegetated and was a discreet location. Slavery was legal at the time, although a severe divide was growing within the community on the subject. New Eidolon did not support slavery, and no slave could be found anywhere within the city limits, except the lighthouse apparently. Douglas was aware of the community's position, but regardless traveled south to purchase them. A real piece of work. The following entry demonstrates Admiral Irving's feelings on the matter. You know, I'm not doing this in character. I'm just going to read this. I am surprised to find myself astonished with Douglas's recent procurement. I imagine a person of such filth would have no problem stooping to such moral lows. A few months later, he wrote the following. It seems that I have befriended my neighbors to the west. They are much more akin to my liking than that meter Douglas. I had my accent wrong, although I did sort of sound like Hagrid, maybe. Maybe I could pass as Hagrid. Not funny, though, what this knobend was doing. Admiral Irving scripted the culmination of his hatred for Douglas Murdoch on August 7th, 1834. Can I move this up there? Thank you. Today I witnessed Douglas's... Hang on. Eyes are doing their thing. Today I witnessed Douglas beat George, as I believed, to death. Douglas, a lazy and spineless hypocrite, felt it necessary to beat him because he was delinquent on his duties. I am full of regret not being able to stop the whipping sooner. The only redeemable act I can continue is to ensure tonight that it will be the end of Douglas. Oh, I agree. You were right, brother. You were right. Usually I don't condone it, but don't like him. Don't like that Douglas guy. As the facts started to surface, it was evident the city had a few things to consider moving forward. The light station operated on its contingency plan for approximately. During this time, city officials relocated the 6 residents living on the west side of the peninsula and integrated them into the community as free men. Oh, thank God, at least some of them got out. City officials were able to discourage the local paper from running stories, avoiding negative publicity. Of course, politics will be politics. This was undoubtedly because there was still a general dislike for Douglas Murdoch within the community. You should have just let it out in the air then. He was scum. Approximately 1 month after the incident, a plan was unveiled on how to move forward. On July 1835, Dylan Hurley was selected as the head keeper. I am not going to look forward to helping that Murdoch, this Douglas guy, not liking him at all. What a scumbag. I'd like to get more information on that barn, though. I'm sorry if I seem like I'm skipping ahead, but I want to figure out, is there anything going to talk about the barn like I think there is? Oh, yes, here we go. Let's see, where's a good place to start talking about this? Red pains, no. Oh, okay, here we go. By 1863, a terrible civil war was ravaging the country. There was an unfathomable amount of injured and dying, for which the community tried their best to set up general hospitals. The Hurley family volunteered to land just south of their house as a medical... Oh, volunteered the land. I told you my eyes get weird. Anyways, they had volunteered the land just south of their house as a medical facility, tending to the wounded soldiers. Per family records, the Hurley family was completely unprepared for what they understood to be an act of compassion. This was a place of agony and anguish. Hundreds of limbs were piled up behind the building, and the yard had a blood-filled marsh 20 yards out of the east side of the building. Screams of agony could be heard regularly as infected and mangled limbs were sawed off. Dr. Arthur Gideon was the lead surgeon during this time and performed many of the amputations. Dr. Gideon was quoted as saying many years after his time as a field surgeon, My vocation has immunized me from the disgust of blood and gore. What shall haunt me forever is the screams of those young men. It is the totality of pain and suffering that so many young men endured. Incomprehensible greed justifying the death of countless youth. So, the important bit is here on that. So, yeah, alright. I might deal with the jerk last. I'm not gonna lie. Just because I'd like to imagine that jerk actually having to stew in his misery a little while longer while everybody that didn't like him or was wrong by him gets taken care of. Could about serve him right? He'll be the last one I take care of on that one. Now, inbox. Lighthouse stairwells. Elevated EMF in the barn. That's going to be a tricky start because there's really not much to go off of, but I think I can do this. I just need to make sure that I got everything I need. Suffocated, chopped and thrown into... Alright, fine, I'll work on this jerk too. There's enough about him, I guess. I might not have a choice, right? First keepers. Don't want to fan this out too much because otherwise it's going to be a long investigation, I feel like. That's Spruce Street. Anything else on that? Coast Guard? No. I may just have to go with very minimal information on this one. I don't want to, but it looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. Alright. Oops, sorry about that. Let me just adjust things. Time to go to a lighthouse. Give me just a moment. I gotta take a bathroom.
First heard about this place when I was a kid. It's unbelievable I'm actually here investigating. This lighthouse has been around for almost 200 years and has a history that aligns well with being a haunted location. I'd love to find evidence specifically identifying the spirits allegedly haunting here. I'm sure I'll be able to find enough evidence to support their claims and put their minds at ease.
Alright. Just park my butt on down. So, the lighthouse. Sure, Conrad's given you a little bit of his opinion. Now it's time to get going. A few assets just gonna pop in out of nowhere. Maybe it's my cue to let things rest a little bit. Pop back in a little bit later. I can't wait till I'm able to get back to a desktop proper so that I can be on here for longer. It's going to be so awesome, but that's one of the goals I'm working on right now, is work my way back to a desktop. That was nothing. And I don't have my equipment with me this time, yes, but this time I have a reason. I'm really just trying to find out where all the evidence is that I can find. The more of that I got, pardon me, nose itch. Well, under my nose, really. More like upper lip, but the more I can gather, the more I can use to help these guys later. So, there's that. Any other bits of information? It's been at least a couple pieces of information in this building so far. Yeah. There's another one there. And a thing for brawling, huh? Now this... unexpected. This is inaccessible. Unfortunately, there's no way to climb up there and see what's going on up there. Well, the first time this startled me, but it's not going to startle me the second time since I'm expecting it almost. So that's the evidence there. See what I can scoop up in here. There might be something, there might not be anything, but yeah, there's something there. I'll have to go over all these bits of information when I get back to the office later. Right now I just kind of want to gather what information I can, try not to take too long at this. Again, I'm kind of a little mixed on, I mean, is it really okay for Conrad to be grabbing the artifacts here? I mean, what's part of the exhibit and what isn't is a good question. You'd almost want to think, right? My bad, wrong term. One of these days, find myself in a nice climate where my mouth doesn't dry so quickly. Preferably somewhere a little cooler. That'd be nice. Don't mind cold weather, but I am kind of a little bit not a fan of hot weather. Oh, I thought it was evidence. I'm just having tea. Okay. Well, tea is good. Food for the soul. Food for the soul tea. Very important. No evidence in here, right? No, nothing here. Now this is a pretty big map, so just bear with me here because it's going to be a bit of exploring around. No way. Yeah, that's just a water fountain. It almost looked like a shadow person up in this. That is new. But no, it's nothing to worry about. Come on, Dr. Bonesaw. You got something from me, Mr. Bonesaw? You do something I gotta watch out for, don't you? Goats. Got my eyes on you. You're not tricking me, Billy. Oh, oh, Huh? I couldn't be the only one who heard those footsteps. So no artifacts. Yes, there is, right here. You know, that's an improvement. These are some of the least distorted faces I think I've seen so far in pictures in this game. Charming, dashing gentleman by default. You gentlemen had it. You had style and flair. Alright, any evidence out here? Yep. Football homecoming, New Eidolon versus Northeast State Field. Track and field must have been then. Northeast State, track and field. Makes sense. That water fountain isn't gonna mess with me. I'm not sure how to feel about this right here. And maybe there are some places where, you know, you have a playground where the floor is concrete like this, but, I don't know, shouldn't this at least be the, you know, fuzzy stuff, well, not fuzzy, but rubbery stuff that kind of looks like, you know, wood chips, but is not wood chips? I just feel like you could really scrape yourself up on this concrete surface here. It's a little protective, sorry. Just a little bit of my protective. I don't know why I have those yet. I mean, down the road they'll make sense to have, but right now I don't know why I'm so protective on that grounds. Maybe my instincts know something I don't. Wonder if there's any evidence in here. Get on to another topic, right? Yes, thank you. Thank you for saving me from myself. They are always blurred out, aren't they? I'm thinking that's just, yeah, they're probably just doing that so that there's no association with any persons in real life. So I'm starting to understand. Thank God, I thought it was just a really bad malady from back then. It's like, don't eat that bread, it'll mess your face up. Kind of a malady, you know what I mean? So if I remember right, deep in these woods, yeah, I remember you, so it's down here, right? It's got to be over here somewhere. How about this? I'll just walk deep into the woods till I find this, and when I find this, should be able to hug along here. Did they move? I feel like they might have moved some things on me. That was always my way to figure out where those houses were off to the side here. Maybe I'm just not meant to see it yet. Poor George, though, man. That sucks. Is that the houses? Yes, okay. It's at least a house. Now there's more. Alright. Almost feels like urban exploration, doesn't it? Item is a valuable piece of evidence. Blurred faces again. could be rough. I couldn't even imagine. Alright, well, usually you're not going to get everything on the first go, so presumably I've got everything I'm going to get, I think. Could be wrong. Pretty sure, though. Alright, so straight ahead from where? From... right here, this garbage can. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Oh! Hey, it's even better. So I'd be starting like this, I'd just turn like that and go straight down that way for those. Gotcha. Time to get to work. Well, I technically already have, but time to really get to work. See what I can find here. See who's asleep and who's awake. Actually, Dr. Bonesaw, I know I heard him up and about. There is one more place I haven't looked. I'll be there in the next visit because I'm pretty sure that I've run out of all the goodies it's going to give me for evidence right now. And by goodies, I do use that term loosely. More like artifacts. Okay, so gotta get to a walking pace. See if I can track down Doc Bonesaw here. Likes to walk around in here. He's still going over his routes of his patients. Oh, hello. Where did you go, bud? It's because I started moving too quickly, isn't it? Alright. Yeah, it's fine. I've already begun to communicate, you and me. The livestock seems rather calm. Must not be too terrifying a ghost, Mr. Dr. Bonesaw. My bad, Dr. Bonesaw. Can't forget that PhD. something. Go. Had something, but I lost it. No patience over here, right? What if I reverse the route I'm going? Maybe I can get somewhere better with that.
These temp readings are unusual. That was a very unusual noise.
Ninja fingers,
I'll
huh?
keep that as evidence.
Ninja fingers there. Can I get that temperature tied in? You're a doctor. You ought to know how important temperatures are. Come on. And also, what will you cut? That guy's getting nervous. Should I be getting nervous? It's a sheep. I feel like I was getting better results when I went reverse of this. Cool down, Wilbur. Cool down. I see you running in circles. Like that soul coughing song. You're not walking, you're running around in circles. You ain't walking. Alright, reverse this then. I almost feel like I need one of those stone tablets so I can do that weird hooded thing from Conqueror's Bad Fur Day with those monks. And then he smacks himself in the face. I could be wrong. Wasn't that also a Monty Python thing? Somebody's got to know that watches this eventually. Eventually, somebody will know. I will find my people eventually. I thought I had found them once, but now I'm not so sure. Cool down, buddy. I think you're going bonkers. I don't really have a choice but to walk around with what I'd consider minimal data and try to find ghosts. Doesn't have to drive anybody bonkers there. See, there's definitely nothing completed yet then on that. I don't remember, but I feel like one of those might be a screamer. What are they feeding this pig? Does anybody else wonder what they are feeding this poor pig? I think they might be shoving some coffee grinds in his food or something. That was one hyper pig. I feel like I need to take some palate cleansing from this. Just go and check out pretty much anywhere else. Anywhere else ought to be good. Wait, what? Nah, it has to be because of the draft, because I opened the door. Right? Right.
Looks like just a cold spot.
Yep.
Nothing paranormal.
I know. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I knew that you knew that I knew that you knew. Because it's important to communication. I wonder, how's my face looking today on there? I mean, I'm not as weird and blurry as a new Eidolon photographer shot, am I? Maybe that'll help. See how that does. Yeah, sort of, a little bit. So if these ghosts are quiet, maybe I will go to that other location. Well, maybe it's not a bad idea that I did go there. I'm still doing it. Take more than that to startle me. I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go down here. There ain't nothing you gonna do make me jump. Hopefully. Ain't nothing you can do. Except that, perhaps. That might work. I could see how this could be trouble. I gotta investigate for evidence in those winding tunnels. It's a lot if I could get caught up on that in there. There was also no evidence in there. Yeah, it was not meant to be such a jerking motion. I thought maybe Conrad was frozen in place for some reason. Mr. Stevenson. Mr. Stevenson. Yep, outside draft. And I just dodged it. But I am not a draft dodger unless you mean wind. Just saying. Ironically, camera's over here. I don't remember on the last one. Did I actually still manage to 100% that, or did I just kind of say screw it and leave? I don't remember. Alright, well, I also did stuff on Douglas Murdoch.
Looks like just a cold spot.
I know. Going this way now. Well, I don't like him, but he is a useful animal when it comes to this. Maybe I can find him and use him. Hello, Mr. Lighthouse guy. Don't spray that can of Casper Sol in my eye. Technically, it's not a full-on loss. If I don't get all the research out of this, I can just head back, come back in, and have a lot more activity for my trouble. And that's what a disembodied swine sounds like. He's an irritating animal, but he has some uses. And yes, I'm talking about the lighthouse keeper that kept persons of indenture that should not have been kept. And by indenture, I mean not indenture. I mean persons that should not have been suffering under the conditions they were under. How about I put it just that way? Slavery is bad, okay? I don't care who it is, I don't care where it is. That is bad, okay? You don't do that, okay? I really shouldn't have to tell anybody that, but yeah. Shouldn't have to tell anybody that. Should just be a given. That's bad. Nobody should be doing that. But apparently, Mr. Murdoch here
These
didn't
temperature
get the message way
fluctuations
back
appear
in
to be
jerk water
normal.
times. And now, trying to remember where all exactly this fictitious New Eidolon takes place. It's definitely the east coast of the U.S. Definitely hammered in, it's the east coast of the U.S. But, yeah. Probably takes all the fun out of thinking about how I'll react to Fallout Slavers when I get to those games, isn't it? Sometimes I put up with them briefly if they have some weapon that I need later, but I usually always wipe them all out if I remember right. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure I always wipe them all out. Oh, there's a temp reading there. Let me go up the stairs. There's that boat again. Yeah, this is definitely moving.
Something is going on here. These temperature
Yes,
readings
thank
are
you.
definitely paranormal.
The moment I get one of those crossed off is the moment things really start to liven up. Usually. So now just get the EMF. Trying to remember, are there any intelligent haunts on this one? And I don't really mean that insultedly. I mean, there are several different classes of Spectre. One may encounter. Not all shadow people will intelligently respond, but some of them will. Technically, they're all intelligent. It's just which ones respond to you and which ones are more or less intelligent residue of a past time. I feel like past me was nailing this a little bit quicker. Politicians, though, man. Meet the new guards. I miss the old guard. That's all I can say about politicians. That's how it feels, anyways. Well, I'm glad the middle class is getting some attention, but what about the lower class, you know? There's just an electric box over there, isn't there? Now I'm gonna get to the bottom of this right quick. See, wood cutting. Ugh. Come on. Pretty sure there's a fuse box over here, right? I was very certain there'd be a fuse box over here. Now that is legitimately a little freaky. What is making this do that? It's too early for an artifact, and if it was an artifact, it would light up the whole EMF. Actually, it's an easy way to cheese an area if you wanted to try to find some way to speedrun this game. Kind of sucks the fun out of it, so it's only advisable in emergency times when you really just want to hurry things up, get going somewhere. But when the artifacts do show up in the map, and by artifacts I mean, like, for example, the chevrons if it's Private Connor, or, you know, something like that. I really can't remember any of the other ones, but Private Connor's one I can easily remember because former military, so probably something concerning his rank. And file. If I remember right, the lighthouse always starts off this way, so don't let the slowness here fool you. Later visits will go faster. Let's say this as far as everything goes, though, just to wrap up my opinion on the whole political thing that I've been mentioning or whatever from time to time.
What a rare experience to take a photo of a ghost.
I don't think I'm going to be voting next time around. I'm just going to put it to you that way. Somebody turned a light on up there, I thought. So paranormal. Working on audio and EMF then. So as you can see though, it's starting to loosen up a bit. It took a while, but some persistence paid off, and I'm starting to get a little bit of somewhere here. Although I don't need EMF, I need temperatures, right? Or is it EMF? Had that backwards. Gotcha. So now, this guy's been leaving trails for me to follow. But it's a cramped area and it's kind of sparse. He's definitely residual. I wasn't quick enough. I knew I was not going to be quick enough, but I had to try. That was the last time what?
What was that? I'm glad I captured it with a recorder.
You're gonna do what, Casper? Oh, the stench.
That was
You
a
must be
very
describing
unusual
yourself.
wolf. I'll keep that as evidence.
Yeah, I know what you did to those innocent people. I know what you did last summer. So that should be the, yeah, that's the audio covered up. Not up, covered on. Typical politician. Once he realizes he's being recorded or is getting any kind of attention, he tries to soak it up.